Welcome back everybody, thank you for joining me on another adventure. So for those of you that follow me on my other social media formats like Instagram and Facebook, you would know that I hinted towards doing a scuba dive in a unique location, and today is that day. And for those of you that live in WA and can see the yachts behind me, you would have already figured out that I'm at Hillary's Boat Harbour. Now there's a pretty cool place here called AQWA. AQWA stands for the Aquarium of Western Australia, and today I'm going to be diving in their shark tank with all of their sharks, so it's going to be really awesome. Let's get in there. Because AQWA is situated on the outer edge of the marina, it means that they can pump water straight in from the Indian Ocean through their filter system and right into their large aquarium. Okay, so let's quickly talk about pricing. For an adult to enter the aquarium, it's $32 for the day. If you are a child between the age of 3 and 15, then it's going to cost you $19 for the day, and children under the age of 3 are completely free. So what I wanted to do for you for this particular video, I wanted to take you on a bit of a virtual tour down to the aquarium. You have to go down a series of stairs to get to the bottom. There is a lift provided for those that need that. But I wanted to show you the aquarium first and introduce you to some of the sharks that I will be swimming with when I do the scuba dive. This is the first viewing window, so I'll be diving in here later today, but I just thought wow, here comes a grey nurse shark. That's awesome. First one for the day. Smooth ray. There are several types of sharks in this particular aquarium. The largest is the shark that I already showed you in that previous video clip. So there are grey nurse sharks, there are some nervous whalers, there's also a sandbar whaler, and some smaller sharks like bamboo sharks. So from memory, from my last visit here, there's about 5 of these grey nurse sharks in the aquarium. I did do a snorkel here, and I believe they were telling us that there was 3 females and 2 males. This particular shark that you can see swimming over my head right now is the sandbar whaler that I just mentioned. What? 2 of them. So at about 10:30 in the morning, the divers were in the water feeding the wildlife. I will show more footage in another video that I will release in about a week or 2, where I do a review about AQWA and show you some of the other things that they have to offer. Alright, so pretty soon I'm going to be getting into this tank with these sharks. Now, if I remember correctly from when I did the snorkel here, there's about 3 million litres of salt water in this aquarium with these sharks. And you can actually see these ones behind me right now. They look pretty big, but they're only 2/3 of their actual size that you see through this perspex glass. Because it's a dome shape, it actually makes them look smaller than they actually are. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Let's get in there and check it out.
So you might see it right.
Okay, so the first thing we had to do was meet up with our dive master at the reception area. The dive master then took us to kind of like a staging area where we were fitted out with all the equipment we would need for the dive, and he showed us a presentation video. Our dive master for this particular dive was Brad, and you could tell that Brad really enjoyed his job and had an appreciation for all of the animals that he worked with, because he knew all of the larger ones by name. Now we're getting close to the fun part. We entered this kind of like preparation area. We climbed in, got our masks ready, made sure that all of our equipment was working properly, and then we entered the tank.
Now single each of you out one at a time. Alright, so we'll go out. Vincent, number 1, Bobby 2, Paul number 3. Okay?
All good.
Make sure you get all the areas you need to see.
Alright, let's do this, yeah! The first thing we had to do was descend 4.5 meters to the bottom of the aquarium. My dive buddy for this dive was Paul, and you can see here he's spinning around and giving me kind of like an okay signal with his hand just to make sure I'm okay, and I was, so we continued on with the dive. We then continued down the wall towards our first tunnel crossing, and this is where we came face to face with the star of the show, the grey nurse shark. Once the dive master had traversed the tunnel, he signalled to each of us individually when it was okay to cross, and then we all joined him in the centre just outside the main viewing window. Now, one of the rules in regards to swimming inside the aquarium is not to use any bright lights or flash photography. So all of the footage I've gathered was on a GoPro, and as you can see, it's kind of like swimming around inside a cave. So it is dark, I understand that, but it was a really cool experience, and it kind of felt like I was on a cave dive, which was pretty unique as well. So now at this stage in the dive, we are in front of the main viewing window, and I'd have to say that this is probably my favourite area inside the aquarium because it's the most open and spacious part of the aquarium, and all of the large marine animals are swimming around you in that open space, which is fantastic. Now it was time for us to make our way down the inner part of the aquarium, but we stuck to the western side of the main reef structure that runs down the centre. I was fortunate enough to have my daughter join me on this particular visit, and she was kind enough to hang around inside the viewing tunnel and record some video footage of me being silly as I swam around inside the aquarium. The sight lines are a lot better inside the aquarium than they are inside the tunnel. The tunnel curves and it twists as you make your journey around Shipwreck Cove. But when you're inside the actual aquarium itself and you're swimming around, the animals are coming a lot closer to you, so that's quite thrilling. But then you also have these great sight lines where you can see all the way down the aquarium to the other end, and you've got at least 20 meters visibility. We then made our way through this little swim through. There's like a little tiny cave. The dive master went through first, made sure everything was clear and safe, and then he invited each of us through individually. Once we made it through the cave, we were now on the eastern side of the aquarium and were quickly greeted by the turtle. We then swam down the eastern side of the main reef wall back towards the main viewing window, where we got to hang out with the large sharks again. The staff at AQWA have named the eastern side of the aquarium Shark Alley. So in this next video clip, I was trying to use some of the sign language that divers use to tell my daughter that I had seen a large shark. Now we are entering the final stages of the dive. After hanging out with the sharks around near the main viewing window one last time, we all made our way over the tunnel once it was safe to do so. I was able to capture a couple of cool bits of footage. The first one is this one right here. I believe my dive buddy was looking off to the left, and I'm not sure if he noticed the 3-meter long grey nurse shark swimming over his head. So when Paul looks back and watches this footage and sees what I captured for him, yeah, hopefully he finds that pretty cool. We were all now venturing down at the eastern side of the aquarium wall, back towards the start location. While I was waiting to make my final tunnel crossing, I noticed that the large turtle was swimming along to join us one last time, and I got to have this really close encounter. We are truly fortunate that AQWA allow us to swim inside their aquarium with their animals, because there are some aquariums around the country that wouldn't let you do that, and I'm just really grateful that I was able to have encounters like this one where I got to swim up close with this beautiful turtle. So this is a pretty cool clip because I capture 3 of the different shark species in the one clip. At the surface of the water you can see the nervous whalers, then comes the sandbar whaler, and then finally the grey nurse shark. One interesting piece of trivia that Brad shared with us before we jumped into the aquarium was about the smooth rays. Smooth rays are one of the largest stingrays in the world, and some of the rays inside this particular aquarium weighed up to 350 kilos, which is pretty incredible. Finally, to close out this amazing dive, while I was waiting for my turn to exit the aquarium, two of the grey nurse sharks swam past to say hooroo, which I thought was very Australian of them. Well, that was awesome. Absolutely loved it. I'd come back and do it again anytime. But yeah, we've got to go get all our gear off now, so I'll see you all in a minute. Well, my dive is all over. That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much to AQWA for allowing us to dive in your large aquarium. It was amazing, and I think it's a fantastic way for people to gain an appreciation for our marine life. So thank you so much for that. Port Jackson shark down there. Absolutely ginormous. I don't think I've seen one that big before. But yeah, I just thought I'd close out. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.